Yay!
Hello.
Welcome. Hi. Good to see you guys here on Peg City Soundoff on a Tuesday night. Thank you very much for joining us. We're talking to the Fixer today.
Thank you so much for having us, and a big shout out to you folks. Thank you for sponsoring our show coming up in Winnipeg.
Yeah, no problem at all. No problem. Well, I think all the credit goes, or at least the start of it goes to Ruth Morris out there. So I'm sure she'll be watching this interview and just a great person, does a lot for the music scene around here and kind of just all around Canada. You guys are from Thunder Bay, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Correct.
Awesome. And you'll be playing at the Tap House October 19th. So you'll be playing with some great bands as well. You're playing with the Soundoff, who you played with before. We'll get into that. Playing with Seven String as well. Playing with Technosis, I believe, as well then. So should be a great show. It's going to be starting a little bit earlier, I believe, or I saw at least that the doors open at 6. So I was thinking maybe it's starting a bit earlier than
Yeah,
the
the
normal.
doors are at 6, and I believe music is supposed to start at 7.
Okay, yeah, that sounds right. And 4 great bands for I think it's $15 at the door. Can't go wrong there. So really looking forward to that. It's going to be a great weekend. I have a good show coming up that Friday as well at the Tap House. Should be awesome.
Cool.
Awesome.
So you guys are on a bit of a short break right now, if I'm not mistaken, from touring. You were just in Espanola, Ontario. You were in some places in Quebec as well. Any cool stories from the road, or how's the tour starting out?
We actually did 3 dates in Quebec this past weekend. And I have now found a new love for Quebec. It's so cool. I really like Quebec.
We do have a real soft spot for Quebec. It was our we only had played one show up until this last run in Montreal back in the spring.
Okay.
So it was super fun to go and play a couple of other places in Quebec this time. It was our first time in Le Sarre and Lévis. And man,
Lévis.
they have such cool bands out in
Yeah.
Quebec. They really really hardcore about their art, in the music scene out there.
Yeah, they got a passionate fan base, to say the least, I should say.
Yep.
Very passionate artists.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess most artists are passionate, but I don't know. They hit.
Yep. Lots of fun in Quebec, where mon français est terrible. But it was a lot of fun and having some I don't know, some mixed language conversations out there. So that was
For sure.
a real fun experience for us. Mel's actually probably the best in the band at speaking French.
Je peux parler un peu de français si tu parles très lentement.
There you go. Perfect. So that'll get you through it, right? That's awesome. Wicked. So I did want to start talking about some of the different tracks that you guys have. You put out an EP in early 2020, in April 2020, I believe, The Prowl.
Yep.
Great album. Really enjoy it. What was it like putting out an album at that time? And maybe even how long did it take before you were able to perform the songs live? Because obviously that was right when COVID hit.
It was
we shot a music video, our Take You Home music video. We shot and if we had planned to shoot it the next week, we would have not been able to, because that was exactly when the shutdown happened. We were planning on gathering our media and then releasing it as we started to book some shows, perform live, even just locally. And that's not how that turned out.
It was a very interesting way to start a band, because it was I remember at the time very distinctly. It was when we released it, our EP was when all of the larger labels started holding back their releases and rescheduling their release times. And we kind of decided, we were back and forth on, are we going to hang on to it, or are we going to release it now? What do we want to do? So we did push it back just a little bit, but when it looked like it was going to drag out for a little while, we were like, we put this time into to creating this, and we're anxious to share it. And it actually was probably a very smart move retrospect. And hindsight's always 2020, but it was nice that it actually turned out to be something beneficial for us, as we had a lot more online interest start with us really fast.
Yeah, it was really wonderful and surprising to see. Perhaps because the world was a little bit new music starved, and we were providing just how many people and different places around the world were interested. It was so cool.
Yeah, people had more free time, right?
Yeah.
That is awesome. Well, like I said, you got some great tracks on there. We already mentioned "Take You Home." "Murder Cat" is a really good song as well. That the vocals in that song keep progressing. It feels like, and progressing as it goes.
Now on stage.
Well, you have a great opportunity there with that song for sure. Great track. Was it a long process writing those songs? Obviously, you were writing the songs before all the pandemic stuff was just about to get started, because you released it at that time. Was it a long process, or what was the writing process for that EP?
So it was kind of an interesting process, because we had more songs than what we released on the EP, but we had when the band, before we even started doing anything publicly, had a bit of a lineup shift. And some of the material that we created in the very start of the Fixer ended up a little bit different than some of the direction that was on your Lie, which I feel like when you listen to the two side by side, you can kind of hear that there's almost like a progression in the sound within even that album. So some of those songs were written and already being played with some of the songs that ended up on the next album. But we were anxious, like most musicians that are playing in the basement for a while. We were like, Mel just dies to get on stage. So we were like, okay, well, we've got an album that's progressing here now. Some of these songs we really like, and this will also probably, I imagine, show up as a theme in the Fixer the further we go into the interview, that we wanted to release and have in our catalog that maybe didn't fit with the release that we were moving towards. So we released the Prowl EP, and the plan was to follow it with playing some local shows. So it was a bit of a long process, but some of those songs were around for a good amount of time before we actually released the Prowl EP.
But he specifically asked what the writing process was like, which I actually feel is an interesting question about these specific songs, because I don't know how long you had them written before I joined the band.
Because there was most of those songs, the music was written and was actually part of the process of when we were looking for a singer. The singer was the last piece to the Fixer puzzle. It kind of brings us back to where we started as a band. We originally were performing as a Rob Zombie tribute act, and then after doing the Rob Zombie tribute for a bit, we did a minor lineup shift, and then started doing Rammstein tributes.
Okay, cool.
And then we kind of wanted to maybe do some original music that kind of had the spirit of that larger than life, somewhat theatrical band, but with our own songs. And then so we decided that the person that was singing for those was also a guitar player, and a very good guitar player. So we had moved them to the lead guitarist, and they were supposed to be also doing the secondary vocals. And then we started looking for another vocalist. I think we had two vocalists before Mel that we spent a little bit of time with, that didn't quite end up off the ground with them. And then once we found Mel, our drummer had actually seen Mel doing an Evanescence tribute, and we
Oh,
thought,
okay, nice.
and we figured it's like it's only a hop, skip, jump away from, like, it's the similar era, quite a bit of fan base crossover. Why don't we try somebody that has like an Evanescence sort of background front, like being the lead for what we're trying to do.
Surprise!
Yeah, I
That's
can
not what
definitely hear
that.
that.
Yeah, the my Evanescence tribute band group of people that barely knew each other was a very, very fun experience for me that I had wanted to do since I was like a teenager. I had always wanted to. There's a thing in our town called the cover show, and ever since I was a teenager, I was like, I want to be Evanescence at the cover show. I want to do the thing. And finally,
Yeah.
I was given the opportunity to do it, but I'd never been in a band before. And my singing background was Evanescence, but it was also a lot of musical theater. So they got a musical theater nerd.
There you go.
Yeah. Before I even met Vic, he had sent me some of the demos. Specifically the demos that I remember were for Take You Home, the song that ended up being Take You Home, and the song that ended up being Chastity, which is also on our EP. And those two songs were sent to me, and it was like, sing something to them. And it was like, okay. So I wrote the lyrics and melody to those two songs. Chastity actually changed quite a bit from that initially, but those were the first two songs that I ever wrote as part of the band. And all of the music was already kind of like established and provided for me. And I brought that to them, and they went, oh yeah, okay, that's our singer.
Yeah, it was once we started working with Mel, it just like there was something there that we knew if Mel stuck around, that the band would really work well with what Mel was bringing to the table. It just it fit, and it had all the building blocks to do good things.
Awesome. Yeah, it sounds like it's definitely a really good fit. And musical theater, I imagine that's kind of where you get the really diverse vocals, because there's a lot going on in all those songs and different vocals in each song. And yeah, I would advise anyone who hasn't to check you guys out on whether it's Spotify or YouTube or whatever it is. You've got some great tracks, definitely.
Thank you. Yeah, musical theater, and also just like a love of karaoke and being able to do like all of the songs that I was interested in weren't necessarily what most people were doing at karaoke.
Yeah,
Had a
kind of
really,
helps you let loose, I imagine.
I had a really great dude that brought in like specific songs for me because I really wanted to sing Linkin Park and Within Temptation and Evanescence and like it wasn't Rob Zombie yet. I didn't know about Rob Zombie yet. I was still pretty young. But like some stuff that like is so like My Chemical Romance, like so drastically different vocally.
Yeah, definitely.
And I feel like that was a good mix for us, because the Fixer is even though all of us, I feel like, are kind of bound by metal, we all individually like as listeners kind of have all of these other very different from each other offshoots of stuff that we listen to. And rather than just focus on what binds us, it also was, let's try like kind of take your spin and add it to the Fixer and see how it works, adding it in, and just have that meeting ground sound wise of being a loud band. I would go even more general as just being a loud band.
Yeah, no, definitely. And then after that, you'd released, I think it's called Depart, the single, which is really good as well. I was actually just listening to that before we got started here. And then shortly after that as well, you released Smoke Show, which might be one of your best songs. It certainly looks like it's one of your more popular songs. Did you feel any kind of a shift right away with Smoke Show? Did you see that was kind of people were latching on to that one, or was it kind of just like you said earlier, kind of the progression of where your songs were going at that time?
I do wonder if Smoke Show is one of those songs where like you listen to it and you get excited about the band, and then you go to the rest of their music and you're like, oh, it's so different.
Because I feel like like Smoke Show does have, like, we always dabble in a little bit of stuff that like sounds like Smoke Show. I always relate it to being a bit more of a hard rock sort of approach comparative to some of our other stuff that has more evident like new metal or goth leanings in
Industrial.
yeah, like some of that stuff comes through a little more than Smoke Show, but Smoke Show coming in, the musical portion of it was kind of one of the catalysts for releasing the Prowl, because we didn't necessarily want to have it and Cavalier on the same release.
Yeah.
We started feeling like Smoke Show was just had a lot of Cavaliers elements, but there was some musical things going on in it that we just felt were more interesting, a little more in line with what we were wanting to. It felt like the evolution of the song Cavalier. And we do dabble in hard rock, even in some of the stuff. At least one of the songs we have written for a new album that will eventually be coming is leaning kind of in that similar progression of those songs. I feel like we always kind of like take a moment and do a hard rock song amongst the rest of our stuff. And Smoke Show was kind of that hard rock lean for the album Your Lie.
Also, my absolute favorite music video that we've made. What a fun time. We had so much fun.
It was a lot of work, but that was an extremely fun music video shoot. The biggest thing that I think at the time, we were just so excited to not be shooting a music video in -40.
Yeah, it was the first old and only music video that we've ever shot without being able to see our own breath.
Yeah, that'll get some good motivation there for sure.
So we were already set for that to be a better experience for shooting a music video.
And
but
we ended up doing going backwards and going back out into the cold for Ghostful Talk.
Yeah. But we got to work with one of our friends that's a performance artist in Thunder Bay, that was the person that did the choreography for the dance section in that band, or sorry, in that music video. They're a drag king here, and they also do burlesque and other sorts of things. So the fact that we got to work with an artist that is from a different discipline than us, that we respect and admire so much, it was just so cool to do a project that we could work with somebody from another discipline that way.
And I know I want to keep doing like Britney Spears dance numbers. I want to more group choreo. Let's bring it on.
Most of those
taboo. There you go. It's all about the presentation.
Most of those things that you think are taboo, that for metal bands, saying we want to do the Britney Spears dance numbers, that's kind of the Fixers' way of existing.
Yeah,
there you go.
Don't never be limited.
Exactly. Keep it open for sure. And not really a question, more of a comment, but I really enjoy with the album Your Lie. I love the way you kind of bookended the tracks with Your Lie at the beginning and the final track being Your Truth as well. Those two songs, I love listening to the album completely all the way together, the way it's listed. But if you do listen to those songs back to back as well, they flow into each other really nicely. And I thought that was awesome for sure. Some great work.
Yeah, I feel like Your Truth was kind of the most like, so when we were writing Your Lie, it did end up having an overarching theme, but it wasn't really intended initially. We had already we had started moving into covering more serious topics when we started writing Your Lie. We still had some of our party songs like Smoke Show and
yeah, that
like,
waiting still.
and but it also still kind of played into the overarching theme. Once we had Your Lie, it was almost unintentional, because it kind of ended up shaping the general concept, which was about the things that we use in our lives to make our life seem better than it actually is, the things that we use to distract ourselves from the negative aspects of reality. And you know, there was quite a bit of like talks of substance and whatnot. So the, like, you know, the destructive sides of things that come from that as well ended up rolled into the theme. So Your Lie was about just kind of like, I feel like you should speak more to that because that was your
Oh, I mean, Your Lie is an album. I feel like you just spoke to. Your Lie as a song was kind of an accident.
Yeah, that's what I say.
Yeah, I was just listening. It was still one of those things where like Vic provided me the song and I just was like playing it on repeat in my car and kind of going like, how do I want to sing to this? And the outro was the first thing I wrote. And as far as I'm concerned, it's the best part of the song.
Yeah.
Like it's kind of the
No,
whole,
it's fantastic.
the whole purpose of the song was the end of the song. And him
Okay.
and Dreamboat wrote this amazing guitar solo over it that just made it even more intense. And it was just this super, super intense thing. And I couldn't really like I didn't really come up with words. They're just kind of the sounds that came out of my mouth while I was singing the melody, and it was dying inside your lie. And I was like, that doesn't make sense. And I was like, and then I brought it to him and I was like, I don't really have words for this. And he was like, no, it does make sense. And it kind of like really like immaculately worked.
It really kind of like gave the sum up of where, like, what all the songs were kind of
pointing towards.
Yeah, it's almost like the summary of what the rest of the lyrical content was. And then Your Truth was kind of like the end of you know, making the decision of, are you going to keep, now that you've recognized that you're using these things to make things seem different than they are you going to continue to do it, or are you going to see things for as they are and try and make a change?
Awesome. No, I definitely, like I said, those two songs together are fantastic. The outro that you started with, definitely really good as well. And then your most recent song that came out was Ugly Knots, which is a great song as well. I suggest anyone who hasn't heard it yet, check it out on Spotify or, like I said, YouTube, anything like that. I did want to ask you as well about, because we've been mentioning presentation, the look that you guys have on stage. Is that a look that is evolving or changes, you know, even maybe nightly just on how you're feeling? Or where did that look come from if it's not something if it's kind of always similar, but it's a very unique look that, yeah, it makes for great presentation, best way to put it.
I mean, I kind of have one makeup look and it just changes colors.
Okay.
I'm not a makeup artist. I know how to do this or this in purple.
There you go.
I mean, I feel like it's kind of been a thing that that we've just kind of like very slowly, like, will add different things to a little bit over time. So it's like a very slow evolve.
Yeah.
It's because it's I've always loved the, you know, of an all-encompassing art project that has, you know, like I'm from the age of like the album. I love getting the albums with the artwork and the lyrics,
Yeah,
that you can read along with. I love the big over the top live shows with all the bells and whistles. So it's like, it's kind of like the natural thing there. The biggest thing I feel like that makes it slow though is it's kind of like the secondary thing in the fixer. So it's just kind of like
the music does come first.
Yeah. Like in the it kind of like as topics change, the visual sometimes, like, you know, if something feels like it's not kind of matching the whole thing, it will make like a tweak or something along the way. And I feel like that's just like a nice way to kind of like keep things fresh with some sort of continuity to it, because it's I always think that's like an important thing with art, is to like you know, keep, you know, try something a little new.
I've
For sure.
evolved to wearing skirts instead of pants now because I can't find the pants I want.
That's another big thing too, is with the evolve on it
The
is
costuming.
we do a lot of DIY stuff in the Fixer. Actually, the very few things in the Fixer we are done outside of that, outside of the members.
Yeah.
We did like even our first merch design, we printed all of the t-shirts ourselves,
and we learned why it's important, and we value our printers so much.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Shout out to the local print shops for sure.
Oh yeah. Superior Screen Printing is just, we really appreciate them. We think that their t-shirts are like, they really put a lot of effort into making them really high quality. We love how well they wash.
We had always worked with visual artists, because like as far as like drawing or any of that kind of art, it's not
me.
we don't have anyone in the band that does that sort of thing. So that was kind of like the one thing that we would engage with other people, and we're so proud of be able to have the visual artists that have agreed to work with us and be able to bring their art around alongside ours when we go places. We take a lot of pride in what our artists have done, and how they've meshed with the ideas of the music and interpreted it. Because a lot of the times, sometimes we'll ask for something specific, but a lot of the times visual artists, we just kind of like, here's some lyrics,
the song, do what feels right.
Like we take the time going through to looking at different visual artists before we engage to see if we think they're naturally already doing something that kind of aligns along on the way we did. But even down to like the stage shirts we wear,
we make those.
We like, you know,
there's my craziest set of sleeves I made because none of the bell sleeves were big enough. So I made.
Oh, got to do it yourself sometimes for sure.
My sleeves drag on the ground. They're so long. It needs to be ridiculous. It needs to be unlivable. Bell sleeves are my life.
Awesome. Well, whether it's Montreal, Ontario, Winnipeg, it's always great to hear that artists are supporting each other and different arts are supporting other arts, things like that. It's great to hear. I'm going to give the last question here to Ruth Morris. She's been shouting out you guys this whole time in the comment section here.
Hey, Ruth.
And just finishing up with the topic we had there. How long does the makeup take, Vic? From Ruth Morris there.
No. How long does the makeup take everybody? Because everybody loves Vic.
I'm I am admittedly probably the highest maintenance when it comes to getting ready to go on stage.
You would think it would be me, but it is not.
My hair has now turned into needing 2 people for help because of the length it's at currently.
You can't show it. You gotta.
Yeah, I know. I have to duck down.
Like so long.
Yeah.
But the makeup. If we're doing things on a time crunch, I normally get Mel to do the white base, and then I'll do the eyes. So, but I've got the eyes down to to about 15 minutes.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, we used to legitimately schedule an hour to do his makeup, and we don't take that long anymore. Wonderful. Awesome. Practice does help.
Awesome. Well, thank you for taking the time to talk to me, guys. It's been great. As we were saying at the top there, October 19th on Sunday. It's It's going to be a little bit earlier show. The bands start at 7 o'clock at the Tap House, $15 at the door. And it's an outstanding lineup. The Soundoff is a great band, compliments you guys well. Seven Strings, one of my favorite bands, same thing. And, you know, I actually forgot to ask. That was one thing I was going to ask, was about Technosis, because I'm looking forward to hearing them as well.
Oh yeah, I mean, we our first little jaunt outside of our region was with Technosis,
Nice.
so it's going to be really fun to travel with them again, bring them out for something a little longer. We really appreciate their art as well.
Yep, it's and we're super excited to be playing with the Soundoff again. We did a little mini weekender tour in northwestern Ontario in Dryden and Kenora with them, as well as another Winnipeg band, the
Yeah,
Custodians.
great band for sure.
And we love. Yeah, we love. I've always loved the Winnipeg music scene, even going back to like Nocturnal Divinity. Shout out to Michael Milner. They were always one of my favorite bands from years ago. Mad Young Darlings too. Like you folks have always had
Die Mannequin. I listen to Die Mannequin all the time. Not Winnipeg.
Oh,
Darn it! I confused them with somebody else. My bad.
With Mad Young Darlings.
I'm confused them with Mad Young Darlings. That's what it is. I'm sorry.
But no, great bands.
Yeah, Winnipeg. Sure. Yeah. So we're very excited to be linking up with the Soundoff again. And we did meet, is it Kaylin, the singer from Seventh String?
Yeah, Kaylin.
Yeah, we met Kaylin last year at one of our shows. So we're excited to be playing with Seventh String. Seventh String was regularly on in our vehicle while we were on the Love and Misfortune tour in 2024.
Oh, great. Yeah, they're, like I said, they're one of my favorite bands. They're awesome. Wicked. Well, everyone, get down to the Tap House October 19th. Again, thank you for joining me here, guys. Really appreciate it. Thanks for taking the time.
Thanks for taking the time to talk to us. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, and thanks for keeping people informed on us coming down to Tap House. Very excited for our first time playing Tap House.
Yeah, no problem. Anytime. And I will see you there. Have a